do that now. It's my bad. Okay, so recording is started. I just started that late on accident. So, if you're looking at the sheet I just gave you over Discord, essentially, dive's a little bit complicated, but essentially how it works is you start off far, you dive in close, you play slow to start off, but as you get ultimates and as you get picks, you play faster and faster. Brawl and spam is where it gets very, very easy to differentiate the difference between the two of them and how you're playing with the two of them. Brawl is fast and close, right? It's all the characters. You said you know what Brawl is.
Close. You want to basically get Ryan in, swing his hammer.
Exactly, right? And every character on your team is looking to do the same thing, right? You're looking to get in.
Doomfist, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
They want to get in,
right?
use abilities, and kill people.
So spam is the exact opposite. It's where you're running, snipers versus Yep, exactly.
What double shield is right now. It's kind of stay far back away.
Yep.
And damage the shields. Just
exactly. That's a spam comp. You're looking to play far and slow. Now, it seems like you got the point. Now, if we go back to the game we're in, what is the difference between our team composition and the enemy team composition?
They're running Ryan Diva tank line. We're running Ryan Zarya. So we're definitely running more of a brawl comp.
What I would do here is I would compare the DPS.
They're running Reaper Doomfist.
Yep, and we're running
Genji. Genji does a lot of damage in. He's more of a finishing up kills kind of.
Yep. So Genji can be a little. Genji is a decent in Brawl. He's very versatile, but Reaper and Doomfist are straight up Brawl characters, right? Yeah, those two thrive especially in Brawl. On their team comp, they have if we just went through the numbers here, they have Bap who can play Brawl. Reaper's Brawl. Mercy's not really Brawl. Doomfist is Brawl. Diva is Brawl. Ryan's Brawl. Okay. Now Genji, he can play Brawl. I'd probably compare him to the Baptiste there. He's not necessarily a Brawl character, but he can do it. Ashe is not Brawl.
Ashe is the queen of poke and spam.
Mercy is not Brawl. And then the other three are Brawl, right?
Our tank line, our tank line is.
So essentially here, the big thing that you should be thinking of is, okay, we have a slightly less brawly comp than them, so we need to make sure that we're playing slightly slower, slightly less aggressive, right? Trying to take the play a little bit further away from them when we can. Now, we don't want to take that to an extreme. We just want to be careful that we're not getting too aggressive, and we have to be very careful with our health bar because of the fact that they have a brawlier comp.
Damage.
Yep, exactly. All right, just skipping forward here. Okay, whenever you're coming back from spawn, add in a charge. Yep, that way you're coming back much, much faster, and you're getting to the fight, and you're able to be out in front of your team here rather than ending up coming in behind them.
I was telling everyone to back out here because I don't want to face up against window.
Yeah, unless I probably even if you're more cold there, unless like people are walking up in front of you and like forcing you to walk forwards, just still back up because the window is probably going to be more. I'd probably say more power. I'd probably say window if like in that scenario is going to be more powerful than the coalescence, and you just want to stay behind, stay around the corner anyways.
Especially with the recent window bust as well. I mean.
Also, I don't know if you're aware, but the new Reinhardt patch just came out before the session.
Wait, what was on experimental?
Yeah.
That just came live?
Yep.
Oh my god, okay, I'm going ranked after this.
Yep.
Oh, that was... Yeah, I've been playing my experimental for the last couple of days.
Alright, I have no clue what just happened because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to swing.
Yeah.
We got shattered.
Because I knew he had shatter. I knew he had shatter and I just... Yeah. So I felt like I should... Looking back, I should probably back up here because that's...
Yep, exactly, right. the same no man's land, right? This little bend here is no man's land, so we're going to be better off holding on this corner right here where we're kind of behind it, and then if we get pushed back, we have another corner to fall back on right here. This allows our team to utilize the high ground, and they can spam up from the high ground, which is going to be very good for our Ashe, especially, and Ashe and Mercy to take advantage of.
Right.
So in this situation, we're just holding really, really close, and we're again not utilizing the no man's land correctly, and we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage here. Yeah, right here. We're just holding shield too long. Okay, so essentially, you want to make sure that when you, unless you're hard shielding here for a specific reason, like you're low, you have a teammate who's low, or you're trying to help a sniper win a duel. When we have when we're right here within brawling range, and we have our shield available and our health available, we need to be looking to swing and get fire strike damage in. That way our shield's not taking meaningless damage, and if we let them burn down our shield and then we come in after our shield is gone, that means we have no way to get out, right? Our way to escape is gone. So we want to make sure that we're brawling when we have the utility to brawl, and then we're backing up when we're down health, when we're down, especially when we're down health, right? And then when we're down our shields a little bit, then we're recharging, and then we're playing less passive. We don't play passive when we have our shield. Then the other thing in the situation is just make sure. I think we've been doing decently with this, but just as a, I guess first off, you're doing pretty good at this, but then second off, just as a reminder, Fire Strike should be coming out pretty much off of cooldown every time you get it, because it's gonna be the best source of ult charge that you have. So we want to look to use it very, very frequently.
7% per hit.
Sorry, what you say again for that?
It's 7% ult charge per.
Yep.
Enemy hit with Fire Strike. So
Okay, so this is good that we're swinging. We just gotta, maybe not on the Reaper particularly. He's gonna kind of shred you. So we just gotta be careful that we're swinging on the right targets. Here, here we're seeing the disadvantage of the no man's land as
I didn't actually realize he was low. He's actually really, really low.
Just pay attention to the health bars. All right. All right. Alright, we're gonna go over some Reinhardt tech stuff here.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we're gonna go over a few different things. First off, just make sure you're charging on spawn, because you can get a why it says something like 43, but it looks like I had ping there. Just charge out of spawn, that way you're getting back faster. With your Fire Strike, if you're looking to just not take much damage but still get a Fire Strike off, we can, since there is a charge up time on this, we can press it, turn around the corner, right, like that.
Okay.
Yep. Big thing here, the main thing I want to show here is kind of how you should be swinging. So, alright, so
turn.
Yep, turn essentially. Yeah, so when we're swinging at someone straight on, Alright, when we swing on someone straight on, we actually have a, why is it letting me hit them now? Alright. Alright, there we go. So you can see that. When we swing on someone straight on, we actually have a less range than if we're looking at someone from the side. Okay, so, it's not, you can't see it now, but you saw it before.
Yeah, I saw it before, yeah.
Alright. Well, in any case, yeah, you have less range if you're swinging at them from the side, and then on top of that, we want to be looking to hit multiple people at the same time for what you call cleave damage, right? If we're hitting multiple people at the same time, that's a whole lot more.
Getting that.
Right?
Exactly.
So, for example, right, we're looking straight at this person versus
lingering hitbox.
Right, exactly, versus us doing this, right, which is hitting multiple people at the same time, doing much more damage. So rather than just staring at the people you're trying to hit, swing your crosshair or your camera, right, in the direction that your hammer's moving, right? Yeah. That way you're able to hit all these guys and do extra damage, right? You can even do this if we come down here. Okay, you can see that we can actually hit both of these guys at the exact same time, even though they're on the complete opposite sides of us, right? So we want to make sure that we're just doing that to as many people as possible.
Okay. I typically don't use the range tech you spoke about, but I do tend to use the
Mhm.
When there's a large group of enemies, I do tend to swing around.
Yeah, and swinging around also get a lot of time will get you that extra range, kind of naturally. Then we'll go over just one more shatter thing, and then we'll get back into the game. Oh wow, I have extra health. I didn't even notice this. Um,
Oh yeah.
so this is some tech that you can use to land shatters, especially when you're on defense and you know that they're coming up a corridor or something like that. You can look around use this to look around the corner. They can't see us, we can see them. We can wait
Yeah.
till they put down shield, just turn the corner and shatter, right? That's a easy tech to use, especially when you're on defense, and especially when you know that they're coming up through a certain like corridor
Right. Okay.
already. Um, getting it. You're on what map are we on?
I'm gonna be honest. I've never done that one. I know you can
Hmm.
do the third person look around thing,
Hmm.
but I've never really found a good use for it.
Mhm.
Really.
Using the third person look around thing is especially gonna be helpful when you're using it to just look at where your team's at in comparison to you, so that you're not going in without them. Um, you know where they're at. No, where were we in this here?
About here. About here. About
Yeah,
the
right, right
foot
there.
wood. Yeah.
Right, so
So I
here we
knew I was gonna
can.
die here. I knew I was gonna die here.
Yeah. Right.
I just wanted to get a pick before I died, I guess.
All right. So when we know that we lost the fight, right? Because you said you know we're
I
gonna lose.
know. Yeah, I know I'm gonna die.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. In that situation, we want to let them kill us as fast as possible. So us trying to get out to spawn or charging out, that makes it us stagger ourselves and we end up dying
So I
later.
should have just stood
Right.
on cart.
Yep, just
Just
sit on cart, make it easy for them to kill you. We can still swing, we can still try to do damage and try to get a pick or try to get ult charge, but the difference is it took us an extra like 4 seconds to die here versus us sitting on a cart, we probably die 4 seconds earlier,
and
which
also we're
means
stalling cart out as well.
exactly, right? Whereas if we're standing, dying there, then now our team's all walking out of spawn, and now we're not there. That's essentially what staggering is. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you should be
Yeah, I
familiar
know
with the
what
term,
staggering is. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So we don't want to end up staggering by coming out late, and then now our team has to wait on us, right? So that's not good. Now they're
yeah. But
pushing in
no,
without
I
us.
mean, it's gold. They don't know when to wait anyway.
Yep, exactly right. So what we want to be doing is we want to be dying earlier so that we're more like here where these guys are than in spawn, right?
Yeah.
We want to cut down on that time, so we're grouping up with our team. So if you think that you can get out, try to get out. If you don't think that you can get out, look to let them kill you.
Okay.
Any good charge out of spawn.
I tried to get the Reaper as well.
Oh, I just saw a perfect shatter line up there, but I didn't
Yeah,
go for it.
I didn't want to shatter because I thought he had it at this point.
Hmm. Yeah, the
That's yeah.
thing is we
But
just want to make sure that we're
I
using it
should have
before we
used it
die.
out.
Yep.
I should have just chucked it out.
Mm. Yep, just don't hesitate with it because we did see a perfect one there where we just had 4 people lined up, no shield. Um,
Yeah.
just gotta use her ultimate there because otherwise ult's not used,
Yeah,
don't get
that's
value.
massive shatter.
Right. So big thing is that we're not respecting kind of positioning, and then
Right.
that's resulting in us dying. Then we've also had a bunch of other tinier things that have come up. So let's see. Now
Okay.
we have a little bit more of a brawly composition, right? We're on Brig.
Yeah,
We
we
have
got the Reaper. Oh
Doomfist. We have
yeah,
Kree. And then this actually swapped around. Now they have an Ashe, and they have a Mercy, or they've had a Mercy, right? But they have an Ashe. So
we've got the Anna now.
yep. Anna, which Anna is still pretty brawly. Anna's a very brawly character.
Still a
Um,
single hill.
mm,
Like, mm,
which
true.
Anna, the reason why Anna's brawly is because of, especially because
The
of
nade.
her nade, capabilities and her nano. So nano allows Reinhardt to be very brawly. She has
Oh
very
yeah.
good heals for a brawl comp, as she can burst heal tanks, and then on top of that, Anna has a nade which can significantly change the course of a fight.
Yeah, it makes
Yep.
us back out. Like, we have to play a lot more passive if we got naded.
Yep. So now that these have swapped around, we're on a little bit more even footing, right?
Yeah.
Probably say we're very similar in how fast
A
when we're
bit
like
concerned.
when we're this close, we pretty much don't even need to worry about the team comps at that point of
Right.
how fast or slow we should be playing. We just
But
want to
I'm a
be
bit concerned about the Brig Mercy heals though, because I feel
mm,
like
yeah. So
I
we're
do take a lot of damage.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I actually missed that. Yeah, when we do have a Bring Mercy heals, we actually do have to pay a lot more attention to our health because we don't have as much
First skills.
heals. So that is something, yes, you do have to pay attention to. Make sure we're fire striking, just getting extra damage in. So like just for spamming, we can fire it up at like the Reinhardt Ash there. Okay. Whenever we're trying to get out of this no man's land, like we're trying to because we are going to have to push through no man's land once in a while,
Yeah,
right? We have to go through these positions.
that's
We
called
want
taking
to look to
place.
yeah, we want to look to do that first off as fast as possible, so we have the least amount of time sitting here in no man's land as possible. And second off, we're looking to go from one bit of cover to the next bit of cover, right? So for example, here
Right.
we can start here, go to cart, go to right side, right, and then once they back off, we can use this corner, right? So we're moving from one bit of cover to the next bit of cover. We're not standing out in
Right.
the open. And then the other thing is we're just trying to kind of close that distance a little bit faster so that they have kind of less opportunities to spam us, because when we get below them, it's a lot harder for them to hit us.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand here in this. I was waiting for their Ryan to be a dum dum and drop.
Mhm. Here probably get super aggressive on the Zarya, right? Because Zarya's very, very far out of position, and you could probably punish her very easily, especially if we went for a charge here. Um, you could probably punish her pretty easily, because we just end up poking too long when we probably could have just ran at the Zarya and ended up killing her as a team, right? But
Right.
now we're just taking a whole bunch of unnecessary poke when Zarya's like, an inch from us, right? And now we're
Yeah.
running on Zarya, but okay, now we back off.
I'm still trying to punish this Ryan if
Yep.
he's gonna be a
We're
dumb.
we're focusing too much on the Reinhardt here. So you have to remember
Yeah.
that when you're in games, it's not just a Reinhardt 1v1, right? So with
That is actually probably one of my mistakes, actually,
yep.
because I do treat a lot of. Actually, I treat every single game as like, okay, I need to show this Ryan who is alpha.
Mhm.
I need to. Yeah.
Yep, and you have to remember that not every time is it going to be like that. And sometimes, like for example, with Shatter, if we see a good Shatter lined up, that when Reinhardt's dead, when Reinhardt is let's say he's not shielding two people on his team, and they just walk down the open, right? We don't always have to get the Reinhardt in our Shatters when we land them. So just
Right.
make sure that we're not tunnel visioning on the Reinhardt here, and then we're looking to go on this Zarya when she's very clearly in a bad position where we can run at her easily.
Yeah.
And good counter charge.
So yeah, here I am swinging my camera as well.
Mhm.
I found someone had
Yeah, I like the aggression. Good charge.
Don't know what that last strike
Yeah,
was.
fire strikes need a little bit of work. Making sure that you're just landing them consistently or using them off a cooldown. Yeah, right now we can be a little bit aggressive, right? Because they have
I was thinking I can't go too aggressive here because we've got to get cut through.
here the reason why is because they're down their Zarya, so we can at least push up the corner, right? Because what I mean by aggressive here is we don't want to just sit here. We want to take some space.
Okay.
Because that way, so if we are holding here, that means that we don't have to walk up through this. This area is kind of like a no man's land slash little choke
Choke as well. 'Cause we've got
area,
the two walls.
right? Exactly. So we don't want to have to walk up through this into them. So we want to
We
take
just
kind of the
take
corner
this
here,
early.
and then guess what? What else this does is if we take this corner, they have a lot less positioning, and they're stuck in the no man's land, right? Because if they don't have control over this corner, then look at where they're all at, right? They're
Yeah,
all
because
out in the
to that,
open.
that next corner by the bridge.
Hmm.
So should I keep fire striking even if I've got shatter?
Mm, only pretty much only if it's like in the middle of a fight, right? Or the fight's about to start, because after you have shatter, the point of fire strike now is for damage, not
Yeah.
for ult charge, because you're not getting ult charge. So
Actually,
it's
the opposite. It's actually feeding their supports
yep,
ult charge too.
exactly.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that because I've already got my value from.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's good. Just getting one pick
Oh,
because I
so
think
what were you saying before? You said something before I was pressing play.
um Yeah, I just wanted to know if I should be fast striking off cooldown even if I've got shatter.
Yeah, not typically after you got shattered, because the other thing that opens you up to is getting shattered by the enemy Reinhardt. They don't have shatter
Right.
here, but yeah, it just means that you're going to be taking a lot of unnecessary damage. So right here, when the fight's starting, this is fine to use fire strikes, right? But
Okay.
not when you're just purely poking.
Right.
Right, just be really
See, I didn't
aware of
actually.
the charges. When you're up against an enemy Reinhardt and you're swinging on him, don't stand directly in his face, right? What you want to do is you want to take a side angle to where instead of standing right here and swinging on him, we're standing right here and swinging on him, right? The difference is this makes it much harder for him to charge us, and if he's looking at us, we want to keep getting that kind of off angle on him where we're not standing directly in his face. Also, don't you have a little bit of a range on your swing? Don't stand inside of him. You want to stand at the very edge of your reach so that you have time to react when he charges you, right? So
Right.
here, because of the fact that we get right up inside of his face
Right in his face. Yeah.
and we're not standing on the side and we stand an inch from him, this means that he is able to charge us, and that he was actually standing pretty far away from us. We probably could have gone for a counter charge.
Yeah.
But it also does look like he
My
kind of
reaction
sucks
time.
us pretty hard.
My
He
reaction time is like granny.
look at this suck here. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that was a massive suck.
Yeah. What?
All right,
I've
but
actually done
yeah,
that.
just make sure we're not, understanding your matchup there.
See, I was actually a little bit annoyed that we lost that because I thought we've got the brig, I'm going in,
Yep,
but my
which
team
is which
died.
is fine, right? That was a fine decision. We just the execution was wrong, which meant that we ended up getting killed.
Right.
Uh-oh, Reinhardt trying to do a flank shatter.
Yeah.
All right,
See, I'm looking around for him. I know I can't see him. I'm aware of where he is, and I know he's got shatter. So
yep.
when I see him, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Okay, we're okay. So he does it, I block it, but I think.
Right, it's unfortunate that we kind of went in there.
I mean, we're getting the win, but it's messy.
All right. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. How often do you communicate with your team?
All the time.
All the time?
Every
Okay.
game.
So you seem to me like you have a pretty decent understanding of when you're winning and losing fights, right?
Yeah.
When you know that you've won a fight or you've lost a fight, don't be afraid to communicate that with your team. So the call out that you can make there, for example, is "Nult ult, we won," right? That way your Zarya is not ulting when, oh
I mean,
wait,
I'm pretty
who's
sure that was a
alive?
fat finger. I'm pretty sure that was a fat finger, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that is possible, but let's see. Like,
I was duoed with. I mean, he said it was a fat finger.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
alrighty. Well, just because that does
It
happen,
happens.
right? It happens. Even if this was a fat finger, that does happen in other scenarios. Like, Brig just ended rally. Let's see. When did she use rally? Here, she used rally right here. Okay, never mind. She used it pretty much at the start of the fight. But you get it.
You
Ults
get, yeah.
happen.
Say
Call.
not everyone
Yep.
knows when the fight's
Mhm.
won or lost, so
Exactly
just tell
right.
them.
If you have a good awareness, understanding of that, communicate it with them. Say no ults, we won. No ults, we lost. Right. That way your team knows. Don't use ults. Get aggressive. Right. You can say push forward. We got picks. We got picks. That type of deal. Right. Just
Right.
communicate it because you might have a better understanding of it than the other people on your team. Now that is an unfortunate grab because that's gonna mean that you're coming in here without it.
Yeah.
Hey, so this is good. I like that we're pushing forwards here. Probably want to chill on this corner until Cart gets here. But this is good because that means that when we're on the attack here, we're going to the front of that no man's land before the
Yeah.
fight starts, so we don't have to fight up through it. So this is
Yeah.
good usage on attack here. This is a little too far. Now,
Yeah, I
now,
knew this was coming as well.
yep, exactly. So the reason why this is a little too far is because it's very likely that they're gonna push us back because of the fact that it's just us and Zarya here. We're probably gonna
Yeah.
get pressured back, and then now we're walking back through this open area right here, right? So instead, we probably want to be holding here.
Just chill.
If cart was pushed up to here, we can push forward with it because we can use cart as cover. But if cart's not there, we just let them come into us.
Got it.
Because now, yeah, we just have to back up through that. We're swinging good.
The thing is, now I'm low and my Mercy is dead, so.
Alrighty.
Okay.
That was an example of a poor understanding of when the fight's won or lost, right? So at this point, they have a res. We're down 2 people. We're 1 HP, right? So typically,
it was a kind of clutch or die.
Yeah, which most of the time you're gonna want to. Yeah, in most situations you're gonna try not to go for the clutch because let's say, for example, in this situation we have a 20% chance of winning the fight, right?
Yeah.
Why take that chance when we could come into the next fight with a 50% chance of winning the fight? Or if we save on their ult, we might even be higher, right? Because we have more ultimates than them. We might come in with a 60% chance of winning that fight. But us using that ultimate means that now we're losing that advantage we could have, and then I guarantee, we get killed in the middle of it, we don't get value. So first off, don't ult when you see that you're low HP. Don't ult when you see you're about to lose the fight. Pay attention to kill feed. I think you've had a pretty good grasp of it, but just as a quick little roundup, 1 to 2 kills is an advantage for whichever team has it. 2 to 3 kills is usually going to be a win, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be your team who has the kills or the enemy team who has the kills. So look to be more aggressive when you have kills, less aggressive or more passive when you don't have kills. No ultimates if the fight's won or lost.
Right. I tend to go up half of the team. I probably shouldn't. I just shouldn't have chatted that. I shouldn't have.
Half the team is 3 people. I'd probably say usually it's not always 3 people dead. Sometimes it's 2 people.
How many people do you have?
What I'm saying, 1 to 3 sorry, 1 to yes, the difference. 1 to 2 picks advantage, right? If they get 2 kills and you get 1 kill, they're up 1 person. If they get 2 kills, you get 2 kills, you're even. So it's up 1 to 2, up 2 to 3.
Right.
And then the reason why the 2 is the middleman there, right? The reason why it goes 1, 2, 2, 3, right? The reason why 2 is in the middle is because there's a ton of different things that go into whether or not you're winning or losing. Okay, how much?
I tend to think that the counting deaths at this rank doesn't work so well because the follow-up, the clean-up time is so long that sometimes you end up getting respawns, and that becomes so much more complex to track.
Which keep in mind as well that you also that's another thing to take into account is how far away are spawns, right? If you see that your spawn that they have a close spawn here to the cart, we have a super long spawn. So in that situation, that's another disadvantage that we have, not an advantage. So that's a situation where we need to take that into account as well, and we should be even less willing to use our ultimate if we know that we're at a disadvantage, because that's an extra disadvantage on top of it. But there's a ton of other things that go into it. Which team has more health, right? If we lost 2 players, but their entire team is 1 HP, then we can still win that, right? It depends on which team has more ultimates, which team is in the process of using more ultimates. In that same scenario, let's say we're down 2 players, but we just used a grab dragon, right? We have a good chance that that's gonna flip it around, and we're gonna be at an advantage now. And then on top of that, there's also positioning, right? Which team has better positioning? Go ahead.
Also, this is the moment that personally I lose the entire game, because after this point I play like garbage because this fight gets in my head.
All right.
And you're gonna see why.
Okay, so they all take high ground. I don't see Reinhardt, so we should be looking around for Reinhardt. I imagine that he's somewhere. Yeah, he's right there. Right.
You see why. You see why I just.
Yep. So we just gotta be careful of where he's at. Always be paying attention to him.
See, I knew we had lost it, so I just tried to bring him into my spawn, and I wasn't gonna win.
Yep, that's fine move. He just got out though. But yeah, you just gotta make sure that moves like that aren't panicking us or putting us in a bad frame of mind, because when we let that get to us, then we're just gonna end up losing, right? So strong mental is another big thing that's gonna help with your climb, is not letting stuff like that affect you in your gameplay. Just take a deep breath,
I
calm
was
yourself
thinking,
down.
I'm so dumb.
Yep.
I looked around last time he tried to flank shatter, and I didn't that time.
Alrighty. So right now they're getting a big advantage from the high ground, because the Ash is just spamming it down at us from high ground. They're able to drop on us from high ground. The high ground's giving them a significant advantage. So
Yeah.
here we have kind of 3 different plays that we can make to be able to counter their high ground advantage, because quite frankly, on top of the play that Reinhardt made last fight, this fight and last fight, the high ground is really what's been making the difference. Either we can, probably the best one that we can do without all the way flanking right side, which this is an option, right? We can go kind of like come all the way up to the high ground and run them off high ground, right? That's an option.
That's difficult to do with
Difficult
like
to do
limited
in ranked.
team coordination.
Yep, exactly. Much easier one to do is go below them,
Play
right?
under.
Yep. If we're playing right here, at no point they can't shoot us from high ground, right? So the high ground becomes useless if we're right here. Instead, what we've done for the past 2 fights is we've run in through this angle, right? So again, like we talked about with No Man's Land, right here, this is No Man's Land. We're running straight through rather than using cover. So keep in mind, I think you've had a decent grasp of this, but to reiterate, good positioning is the usage of cover, whereas bad positioning is the absence of cover, right? Where we're standing right here and we end up dying, or I can't remember. Yeah, we died like right here. This is an absence of cover. We're not near cover, therefore we die, right? When we're right here on this corner, that does a few different things for us. It means that it takes us half a second to duck behind cover, right? So that means that we start getting ulted, we start getting shot at. We have much more survivability because now they can't see us, and it takes us half a second to do that. Okay. Second thing is that encourages good positioning from our team as well, because like we talked about before, team follows what we're doing, right? For the most part, right?
I wish. Yeah.
Because it's not always going to happen, but your team will, to an extent, follow what the main tank's doing more than they're going to follow what your Mercy's doing, right?
Yeah.
So you having good positioning has good positioning for yourself as well as encouraging it for your team. Okay. Other thing that this does for you is it means that now we can move from one bit of cover to the next bit of cover. I forgot the other thing I was going to say. So I just talked randomly there. But essentially, just make sure you're standing next to cover. You're going from cover to cover, right? Because you're gonna have a lot more survivability that way. The third option you have here, which you should probably do this in combination with, I'd probably say do this within also taking below them, is just run into the people on the ground, right? Try to take it really fast, get super aggressive, right? Remember we compared our two team comps, right? Both team comps are semi spammy now, right? We're pretty much even, but if they only have one Reinhardt, one Moira on cart to start off here, then we can run into those and we can kill them because they don't have half their team with them, right? So the high ground means that they have to take the fight slower.
I'd say our team comp's slightly better, but I mean, only because we have McCree and they have an Ash.
Yep, really the thing there, rather than it being a team comp thing, is we just want to get aggressive because of how split they are, right? They're 3-3 right now. So
yeah, true.
We run on 3 of them. That means that they have less support to keep them alive.
Right.
Okay, so we're using cover right now. Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about, sorry. The other thing that you get out of cover, right, is when we're on a corner, right, and sorry, I have someone talking in the background. When we're on a corner here, right, our shield is behind the corner. They have only half a shield to shoot at, which means that our shield takes a lot less spam damage and it stays alive longer. So that's another benefit of standing at corners, is it keeps our shield alive for a longer period of time because they have less to shoot at with it. Charge him. Oh, very nice. Miss it though.
I'll juggle it, but he died anyway.
Yep, good aggression.
Questionable grab. I was looking for the Mercy. I thought the Mercy went through bank.
Okay. Good shatter, but what happened to our health there? Let's watch. Do we get melted? Alright, so
yeah, we just got melted.
We got melted. Issue here is we have Reaper on top of us. We have a Coalescence on top of us. So we're taking, and we have Ash who shot us with a Mercy damage fist. And a lot of people shooting at us. Do your best here if we're looking for this shatter right underneath cart. This same shatter can be accomplished maybe directly behind cart, right? This is even better for us because that means
they can't see.
exactly.
They're not going to block it. They're definitely not going to block it.
Exactly,
I mean,
right.
They weren't going to block it anyway because they're gold. But
yep, being behind the cart keeps you alive while you're in the shatter animation. Because right, what happens when you shatter?
Yes. Yeah, put
Some
hammer in the sky.
with yourself. Sorry, what happens with you with yourself? Right. What can't you do while you're shattering?
Oh, I can't shield.
Exactly. So when we're shattering, like right here out in the open, that means that we take a bunch of damage. The reason why the Ash is able to shoot and kill us is because we drop our shield and because we shatter. If we're behind cart when we do that, they can't see us, they can't block it as easily, and we have that cart as cover that can stop us from being able to get shot at, right? So we have a lot less damage coming in and keeps us alive longer. So big thing so far throughout this whole session. We're coming up towards the end of the session, so in a minute we'll do a quick wrap up of like a review of everything we've talked about. But the big thing that I'm noticing is just positioning in general.
Okay.
Okay, good swinging through people. Okay. It's unfortunate we just lost all the players. And I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, we just end up staggering back. Maybe go wrecking ball, but by this point, it's pretty much done. All you can do is just hope to stall it. Alrighty. Now we have 7 minutes left. Why don't we do a review of what we've talked about? So, we talked a big major thing is our positioning, right? Probably say number one thing from this session. Make sure that we're utilizing the no man's land and choke points correctly. Stand behind them, not in the middle or in front of them. But when you're attacking and you're trying to take that space ahead of time so that you don't have to push up through, that's a little bit different, right? That's a situation where you want to push forwards so that you don't have to push up through no man's land during the fight, which you did really good on that end. Same thing, make sure that you are positioning next to corners. That will, like we just discussed, has a ton of advantages that come along with it. But the big one is it's just going to keep you and your team alive longer, as it's a lot harder to kill you when you have an object that you can put in the way whenever you're low. Look to go in aggressively and swing whenever you don't, whenever you have like kind of shield available, right? And we have your health available. That way you're going in when you have the disadvantage. You're not trying to go in when you don't, when you have the, sorry, I don't know what I just said. That way you're going in.
I get what you mean, don't worry.
Yeah, that way you're going in when you have the advantage, not the disadvantage. You don't want to go in when you don't have health, when you don't have shields. So don't just sit there shielding. Go in aggressively when you have the advantage. Fire strike off of cooldown. Work a little bit on your fire strikes because sometimes they're really inaccurate and you're not hitting them very well. So just make sure.
That's a little bit due to I'm a new PC player and I'm just getting used to the aiming.
Yeah, exactly. Just focus on that a little bit. But besides that, I think you're decent with it half the time. Let's just go through down the list. Charging, I think you're actually pretty decent with knowing when to charge. Just the only thing I say with charging is just charge out of spawn to get back faster. Ultimate usage, I think you had pretty good shatters. To be honest, I don't think there's much. Just make sure there's a few techie things we talked about with shatter, like that last one with using cart. We talked about how to shatter from behind a wall. I think you also had some good shatter blocks. And the only thing that on that end was just to say, make sure you're really focusing on where is Reinhardt when you're coming into fights, so he doesn't end up flanking you. But besides that, I think you did really good with your shatters, and that was one of your strong suits is shatters and blocking shatters.
Okay.
Now
That's good because I do focus a lot on that in game.
Yep, and oftentimes, the things that you focus on are the things that you're actually going to be better at, right? So that's what we were talking about at the very beginning of the session, is making sure that you're focusing on the things that we're bad at, so that we can get better at them.
Right.
So then going around the block still, regular swinging, just make sure that you're, keeping up the swinging back and forth, so you're hitting multiple people. We went over a few techie things. Not going to go too into depth on those because I think you'll remember those. The fire striking around the corner. So you have that little bit of extra reach when you swing to the side.
Yep.
Trying to think, was there any other points? Make sure you're watching kill feed and you're paying attention to whether or not you're winning or losing. You can also communicate that to your team whether or not you're winning or losing, so they don't use ults. Make sure you're not using your ult when you're winning or losing. Right, that way you're
Yeah.
not over ulting. Make sure you're not trying not to stagger yourself as well, as we did stagger ourselves once or twice. That way you're grouping up with your team faster and you're not coming in super late and without your team, or your team without you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Then besides, I think those are the main points. So I guess top three. Let's go with the kind of main things to work on. Probably say that your positioning is going to be number one. Um, Maybe probably say your awareness would be number two, and then of knowing whether or not you're winning or losing fights, when to get aggressive, when to play passive, that type of deal. And then number three would be maybe fire strike usage. I don't think Chatter needs too much of working on. Probably say number one was just most certainly they're just positioning and making sure that you're positioning better, because that will keep you alive a lot longer and allow you to just do more.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any
Um,
questions about anything that we've gone over?
Nothing that we've gone over. I think I'm probably going to book another one. I don't know when. Another session.
Alrighty.
To talk about more about positioning,
Mhm.
like kind of hard focus on positioning. And also, I've got a question. I'm part of a team.
Yep.
Is there any way we could contact someone about, or you to contact you about team coaching? Do you do team
Yep.
coaching?
I do team coaching. Especially I don't have a whole lot of experience if we're talking like to mass or sorry if we're talking grandmasters, but yeah, I assume this is like
it's
gold
mid high plat,
apply.
and
Yeah.
I
So
feel like I'm
mm,
a liability right now. That's why I'm getting the coaching
yeah.
right now.
So essentially, yes, I can do that. It would just be super high ranks that I don't have the experience for that.
Okay.
But yes, I certainly have done that before, and I'd love to do that. How that work is essentially just be me rotating from person to person, and then also at the same time giving team a lot of times, like just even things that go for one person, like for example the things we talked about with positioning, that'll apply to a lot of people, and a lot of people will struggle with the same thing. So,
Yeah.
I'll rotate. I'll start off spectating each person for a round. Tell that person, what are the main things to work on. Then rotate to another person and just keep doing that over and over again. And then in between, if I notice things just that apply to the entire team, I'll bring that up for the whole team to work on. Probably going to be when it just comes to team stuff, it would be probably coordination and comms and whatnot. Whereas individual stuff might be more positioning and ability usage and game sense and whatnot.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, and you can order that on. Just order if you're looking for like a 2-hour scrim block, you can just order the dual sessions, and then that we can just count that as 1 2-hour long session.
Okay.
Or if you just want to do 1 hour, that's also fine. But yeah, you just order one
I'll
on
talk to
Fiverr
the
and
rest of the
message
team.
me. Yep.
I'll talk to the rest of the team about it because obviously I haven't
Mm.
actually spoken to them about about the coaching
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I just I
Just
was
asking
thinking.
about it. Yeah, just feel free to message
Yeah.
me anytime if you ever have any other questions about that, and I'd be happy to get back to you. Yep.
Perfect.
Alrighty. So, what's
Okay.
gonna happen now? I'm gonna end the recording here.